Hey, this is Antonio. Welcome back to my channel, and we're gonna have some fighting words. So in this video, I wanted to talk about the recent post that Tyson Fury posted on Instagram, where he's basically saying that the fight with Anthony Joshua is gonna be pushed back to some time, maybe June or July or something like that. I also seen Anthony Joshua talking about the fight as well, and he was like, things are looking up, the conversations are getting more fluid and things are kind of panning out. I want to talk about Tyson Fury, and I definitely will talk about AJ coming soon. But the thing with Tyson is, yes, there's COVID, which is a reason why things are moving slowly. And yes, Tyson Fury is a powerhouse and AJ is a powerhouse, which is why the talks are moving slowly, because both sides pretty much are the A side. Very seldom do you see both sides that look like the A side, or might very well be both the A side. So, things are going to move a little slowly in terms of where they're going to have the fight and vice versa. But I want to talk about, the elephant in the room, which is Deontay Wilder. In which case, there is arbitrations going on. There's some legal work going on when it's in regards to Tyson Fury and Wilder pushing for the third fight. So their last real full interview that Tyson Fury did, he was like, he's not going to entertain a third fight because the way Deontay went about things and the things that he said and accused him of. I'm not going to get into all the drama because I'm sure you heard it from tons of other sources. All you have to do is just go on Instagram or Twitter or any of these places. You're going to find it easily, especially on YouTube. So I'm not going to go there. What I am going to say is this. Just as a fighter, you're part of a profession where if you don't like your coworkers, you can punch them in the face. If you've been slandered, you don't have to go to your boss. You could literally punch your coworker in the face. You guys are in the same field. You guys are in the same weight class. You guys have history. Just set up the third fight. If you truly believe that you can beat Deontay Wilder again, there's literally no negative side to this. If you truly believe you can beat him again, because when you say I'm not going to fight, it looks as if you got something to lose, or maybe there's some hesitation or fear there. Now, I don't know what's inside Tyson Fury's heart. I don't even know what's inside of his mind, but his actions would suggest something differently. If I felt I could beat another fighter, and a third fight, a trilogy fight, would generate millions of dollars, I believe the third fight between Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury would generate a lot more than Fury versus AJ, because that's uncharted territory. Nobody knows what's going to happen over there, although I personally believe AJ is going to win that fight, but that's another video. There's a lot more at stake over here with Deontay Wilder. There's conspiracy theories, there's drama, there's bad blood, and there's the trilogy. You got a lot of things working over here where it's not going to be hard to sell this fight. It doesn't matter what country you host this fight. It doesn't matter if it's a live crowd or not. You're going to sell this fight because everybody wants to tune in. There was a draw, and then there was, the knockout, Tyson Fury. But you have Deontay Wilder saying that there was foul play. That wasn't really me, and something wasn't right. Something might have been tainted. Something could have possibly been in your glove. Whatever the case may be. Like I said, I'm not going through the conspiracy theories. I'm just saying, if you're Tyson Fury, if I were in the camp, I would say, let's settle this. Let's settle this for your name and clear your name. Let's settle this for boxing and clear you in the ring. And what I mean by clear you in the ring is you felt you won with no foul play. Let's do it again and let's prove it. No foul play. I beat you fair and square. Now that chapter of my life is completely over with and done, and it's history. I can move on. I still have AJ over here. You have a lot of fights over here. You know, you have Andy Ruiz. You still have a lot of fights over here. But we need to clear this area up. We need to clear this up, I think, for boxing, but I also think I want to believe there might even be something in the back of Tyson's mind, because you are in a field where you could literally punch your coworker in the face. And he's literally saying you didn't beat him. He's literally saying he can still beat you, even though he lost that last fight. And he's still under the impression he can beat you. If I were Tyson, I would just literally close that chapter by beating him again, making a buttload of money, and walking away. And you'll never have to hear his name again. You'll never have to see him again. You know, but if it keeps going like this, Tyson and Deontay Wilder can very well turn into Muhammad Ali and Joe Frazier. How their names are just kind of tied together. You know, they had 3 fights. Their names are kind of just tied together. And you don't necessarily want to be tied to anybody. You know, when they speak of you, they're going to be like, oh, but there was a Deontay Wilder fight. You don't want that. So the best way to clear that up is to fight again. We get a clear winner. We as boxing fans, we win. You win as an individual and as a person who's been slandered. Even Deontay will find closure. Like, everybody wins. Like, everybody wins. And that would also make the AJ fight even bigger. Because remember, Deontay Wilder was like that guy over here who was laying people dead. So now there's just 2 standing, 2 left. Fury, AJ. So that fight's going to be even bigger now that you close that chapter. Even bigger. You have nothing to lose. You have literally, well, you got something to lose if Deontay Wilder hits you, you know. But if you make it through the fight and you actually beat Deontay Wilder, whether it be, you know, unanimous decision or a knockout, you still win. You win. Nobody will ever say anything against you ever again. Deontay Wilder will just ride off into the sunset. I'm not saying he'll stop fighting, but there'll be no reason for him to ever, you know, go knocking on your door again. And then the AJ fight's going to be even more colossal. So that's my opinion on, you know, the AJ and Fury fight. The reason why I think it's still taking longer. And I'm not totally sold on the fact that everything has to do with COVID. You know, to be totally honest, I'm really not sold on that, because when you look at Mike Tyson versus Roy Jones, they didn't have a crowd and they still broke records. You mean to tell me the 2 top dogs in heavyweight boxing are not going to be able to do something big and massive just because they don't have a crowd? No, they can still break records. Deontay Wilder versus Fury, if that gets made today, they break records, hands down. Everybody wants to see this. Everybody wants this closure. And I believe deep down, both the competitors, they want it as well. But those are my thoughts. You tell me what you think down below. And as always, you like and subscribe.